going on, you guys? So after Floyd Mayweather breaks the news that the fight with Spence and Crawford probably not going to be happening anytime soon, fans wondering what's the next fight that we should look forward to. What's the next fight at welterweight? Well, I can tell you one thing. A lot of things sound good when these fighters come out and mention it or when it's on paper, right? But Vergil Ortiz said he would like to fight Jerome Boots Ennis or Keith one-time Thurman. He just wants to fight. And yeah, Vergil Ortiz has some things to say in regards to what he wants to do next. And of course, the Spence and Crawford fight. He says this: after the fight with McKinnon, I was back in the gym already running that same week. I'm in the gym all the time. I'm always working out. I'm always staying in shape. So yeah, Vergil Ortiz is a guy who one may say is a big welterweight. He had trouble making the weight in the past. So yeah, he got to stay in the gym all the time to make sure he can make this weight for as long as he can. So let's be honest, this is the money division. You want to make the big paydays while you can still make the weight. I don't have anything solid yet. The hopes are that I fight one more time this year. I really do hope so. I want to fight as many times as possible. And yeah, you would like to fight as many times as possible being a young fighter. Golden Boy, I'm not sure if they got any more welterweights for him to beat up on, right? So yeah, it's going to be really tough for a lot of guys. A lot of welterweights in general, it seems like either you can fight all the time or you just don't got the opponents to fight on your promotional company banner. There's not no guys for you to fight, or there's some type of political thing or some politics that's stopping the division from moving. You know what I'm saying? So while you at a standstill and you may not get a shot, welterweight division is actually just, I don't know. I'll come to a conclusion as I finish this video because it's starting to look kind of overrated, if you ask me. Not to say the fighters aren't good, but it's just so many names, so many guys, and it's like, are we going to get any of this action anytime soon? Then he says, if I don't get that, then I want to fight in January. I want to fight as soon as possible. No potential opponent, no potential date at this point. I'm staying ready for whatever. You have to ask my manager on that one when asked what's the holdup. I'll fight anybody. I don't care if it's Boots Ennis. I don't care if it's Keith Thurman. I don't care if it's Spence or anybody. Or Crawford. I really don't care. I would love to fight someone else. I don't care. It's about Boots Ennis, right? And he says he's a fighter. I don't think of him. If he fights, he fights. It's whatever. I've seen some of his fights. Yeah, what do I say? He's a good fighter, right? So he has said, I check Boots out. I don't really watch him like that. He's a good fighter. That's his competition. So he's not about to sit here and, he know Boots Ennis is going to be a nightmare of a fight if it ever comes to fruition or if they ever on a collision course. But what I think don't matter to anyone. Oh, he's a hater. He's scared of him. I really don't care what people say. See, so based off this right here, he didn't really want to talk about Jerome Boots Ennis too much, even though he said he'll fight him. I don't think Oscar De La Hoya will put him in there with Jerome Boots Ennis right now at this point of his career. 19-0, 19 knockouts. He's building him up to be the next Mexican star under the Golden Boy promotional banner. I doubt that they'll be looking to put him in there with a guy like Jerome Boots Ennis. I don't see it. And then he says it's possible, said Ortiz, about whether he can get a fight against Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford if their fights fail to happen. And it's looking like the fight has failed to happen, right? We heard what Floyd had to say. Floyd Mayweather don't give a shit what us boxing fans think. He don't care what fights we want. All they want us to do is support them and buy them fucking pay-per-views and shit. That's what they want. They don't care about what us fans want as fight fans and the fights that we actually will pay for and everything like that, right? They let me stop. I haven't checked the rankings in a while. I'm probably still number one in a couple of them, so it's very possible. Yeah, he should still be up there in the rankings, right? He don't quite know if he's in the rankings still, A lot of these fighters, they don't really focus on all that. They just focus on getting better and staying sharp and staying ready. He got a lot of stuff to worry about. So he should still pretty much be up there. He just beat McKinnon. So he should still be up there, right? Vergil Ortiz was already like number one in the WBO. He should still be at number one in a couple of them, like he said. So I don't think they'll bump him down. He hasn't lost anything. 19-0, 19 knockouts. You know, he ain't going nowhere anytime soon unless he moves up in weight and then gets out of the whole ranking system altogether. But he says this is a really close fight, Spence versus Crawford. Let me say this first. I think they both can win the fight. I lean more towards Crawford if we're going based on their last fights. He said, I'm going with Crawford. I feel like he has a slight edge right now. But like I said, I think they both have what it takes to beat one another. I really can't pick a winner. That's the beauty of boxing. You never know what's going to happen. And then he says they're going to approach it like it's the biggest fight of their life, because honestly, it probably is. So they're going to take it very seriously. Then he says, when they go in, I imagine they're going to fill each other out like fights usually go. Then it'll pick up. It'll pick up really fast. I think it'll pick up in the third round, said Ortiz about the Spence versus Crawford fight. So, I mean, this is fights everybody's still talking about. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's still talking about this fucking fight. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody's going to be talking about it. I didn't even really expect to talk about Spence versus Crawford again this soon. I was really talking about Vergil Ortiz and what he had to say. But as I'm reading his article, I did see something before I read it that he said something about Spence Crawford. But damn, this is like it's halfway all about Spence and Crawford. He says, when they go in, I imagine they're going to fill each other out like fights usually go, and then it'll pick up. It'll pick up really fast. I think it'll pick up in about the third round. And he said, they're two exciting fighters, or it could be the exact opposite. That's what boxing is all about. We really don't know. I'm really bad with predictions. I feel like it might be the bad thing to do, said Ortiz about Spence jumping on Crawford right away. He might run into something, or he might run into a setup or something. That's what Crawford is good at. Then he says, I hope 3 at the minimum. If I don't again this year, then that's only one this year. So he really wants to fight 3 times a year. You know, a lot of these fighters want to stay active, man. And unfortunately for Golden Boy, I don't think they have that many more welterweights farming in their system for Vergil Ortiz to beat up on. I don't think they got it. So the next option is to potentially go try to do business with Premier Boxing Champions, and this is where things can get really complicated. Really, really complicated. I mean, it always gets complicated when guys from the outside looking in tend to do business with Premier Boxing Champions. I don't know. I don't know what could be possibly next with Vergil, really, unless it's a fight with Crawford. Right? Unless it's a fight with Crawford, I don't see what's really left for Vergil Ortiz at this point. And let's be honest, the fight with Crawford, it could be a double-edged sword for him. Depending on how he performs in a fight, depending on how the fight ends, etc., it could do good or do bad for him. You know what I'm saying? He can still lose that fight and still do great in his career because of who he's went up against. But it depends on how the fight plays out and things like that. I don't know, you know. And then going up in there with a guy like Crawford, will you be the same guy moving forward if you lose to a guy like Crawford? Because sometimes these guys just never the same when they lose against certain guys. We've seen it. So yeah, interesting take, man. Vergil Ortiz wants to fight 3 or 4 times a year. He's leaning towards Crawford in the Spence fight, but he believes that both guys could be a winner. And he wants to fight guys like Keith Thurman and Jerron Boots Ennis. But will he get those fights? I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Like, subscribe, hot your boy. Peace out.